Hey, welcome to another junior probability video. In this video, we're going to chat about probability tables. Now, data that has been collected and placed into a frequency table, or what we call a two-way table, can be used to help us calculate probability. Here's our first example. 25 vehicles have passed by the school gates in the last 10 minutes. You can see we have a table. On the first column, we have the type of vehicle, whether it's a car, a motorbike, bus, or truck. And in our second column, we have frequency. Now we know frequency means how many. So how many cars passed the school gates in the last 10 minutes? How many motorbikes? How many trucks? How many buses? There were no buses that passed the gates in the last 10 minutes, but we still recorded it. Right, I've added this extra table called relative frequency, which is a flash name for the experimental probability. In other words, we've taken the frequency of each type of vehicle and converted it to a probability. So there were 21 cars out of the 21 vehicles. There was one motorbike out of the 25, no buses out of 25, and 3 trucks out of 25. I've also then taken each fraction and converted it to a decimal or a percentage, depending on what you prefer to use. Right, so let's use the starter to answer some questions. Here's the first question. What's the probability of a car? P means probability, and inside the bracket is the event occurring. So what's the probability that a car passed the school gates during that 10 minutes? And that's easy. We can read off the table. It's just 21 out of 25. We could write it as a decimal or a percent, whichever you prefer. All right, what's the probability that a bus passed the school gates in the last 10 minutes? Well, we're just going to say 0 out of 25, which is just 0. What's the probability a motorbike passed the school gates in the last 10 minutes? Well, we can say 1 out of 25, which is just 0.04 or 4%. All right, let's move on to example 2. A survey was conducted with a sample of some Year 9 students at a particular high school. The results have been placed into the following two-way table. So a two-way table has data going in 2 directions. In the first direction, we have whether they are male or female. And in the second direction, we have whether they own an iPad or whether they do not own an iPad. So hopefully you can read from the table that 5 males from the survey own an iPad. 7 females from the survey own an iPad. But 25 males from the survey do not own an iPad. All right, we're going to use this two-way table to answer some questions. First of all, I'm just going to add down the bottom a total column. I'm just going to add up all the males. 5 own an iPad and 25 do not own an iPad, so there's 30 males altogether. 7 females own an iPad, 23 do not, so that adds up to 30 as well. So there are 30 males altogether and 30 females, so there must have been 60 students in the survey. All right, well, let's ask this question. P means probability. So what's the probability from this survey, from this group of students, that we randomly select a male student out? Well, hopefully you can figure out that there are 30 males in this group. So we're going to say 30 out of the 60. Remember, there's 30 males and 30 females. That adds up to 60 students altogether. So there's 30 males out of 60, which is equivalent to 0.5 or 50%. What about P? P for probability. What about probability that I select a student out of this group of somebody who owns an iPad? Well, can you see that there are 5 males who own an iPad and 7 females? 5 plus 7 makes 12. So we can write it as 12 students out of the 60. All right, what about this question? P, the probability that I select a student from this group that is a female that does not own an iPad. So I want to select a student from the group. It's got to be a female that does not own an iPad. Well, there's 23 females that don't own an iPad, so 23 out of 60. All right, hey, thanks very much for watching the video.